Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing all right. Perry Hensley here with you. Going to go over some exciting news going on with Slab Happy. I'm going to go on with some news happening with the East Tennessee Fishing Expo. Going to share with you our results of our tournament this past weekend on Watts Bar, and just give you my thoughts on things, and share a little bit of God with you this morning. If He sees fit to intervene on my conversation with you guys, and we always let God lead us through everything, and that's very important. That is the ultimate thing, right there to me, is putting God first above everything else. We have to do that. Sometimes I've not done that. I'll be honest, but just hang with us. We'll be right back with you after this. Today's video is brought to you in part by Windrider Apparel, Mossai Market and Deli, Artistic Printers, Rebel River Outlet, Mammoth Ridge RV Park, The Angler Magazine, Bait Pop Live Sonar Intensifier, Rougarou Tackle Company, Hooker's Terminal Tackle, Ayler Packaging, and Slab Happy News. All right, guys, right back with you. Thank you for hanging with us here. Let's first go over. We'll go over some products that I've gotten back in stock. And maybe you can help me name this one. I have thought about naming it, the Nasty, after Joe Nash. I hear that he really likes this color pattern in a different bait from a different maker, which is okay. Joe's a good guy. I think a lot of Joe. He's been on top here in the last couple of years in our East Tennessee tournament trail, but this is the color that I'm asking everyone to name. Now, again, I don't make my plastics. My plastics are made for me. I do have creative control on colors. I can choose any color pattern. Choose to put pearl in it. Choose to put glitter in it. What colors I want together. And I've been blessed to have found someone that is more is more patient with me than I think I deserve. And I'm not going to give that information out. That's between us. But what it is a chartreuse tail with a clear laminate body, and it's got silver and black and iridescent glitter in it. Now, that being said, I'm going to have them to double up on the glitter that's in that, the laminate part, and I'm going to make that a better bait. But if y'all can help come up with a name for that color pattern right there, that'd be great. I'll take any recommendations on that. Are ever popular and always a big hit in a lot of lakes. I get people calling me from Alabama and South Carolina and a lot of these lakes that are clear for most of the year, and they want this bait. This is a topaz shad. This is in our 2-inch Happy Shad, as a matter of fact. And want to let you guys know it's stock. We got it back in stock right now. Slab Happy luresonline.com. Another big favorite, and one of my favorites of all time, is this one, Mossback. Now, for those of you who don't know, we have a team member on our pro staff here at Slab Happy that uses our products in North Carolina. His name is Jason Murphy. He does Crappie Moment on on YouTube. Lately, he has just been hammering those big black crappie with that color combination right there. He's also been using this one. This is one of our newest ones that I come up with. I wanted something monkey milk, silver or gray on the bottom with a little darker green. I really like that little darker green, and it's been a hit here lately too. It is Kryptonite. That's what I named this one. It's stocked and ready to go out the door. Let me tell you that when you order, our turnaround is usually 2 days to most places. Once I get it to the post office. Now, I'm just 2 miles from a post office, so it's nothing for me to drop it off there. When I get it done, sometimes 2 days is out of reach, but generally for most orders, 2 days is going to be in there. Out west, California, all those places, of course, it's going to take 3 to 4 days. And that's me being right on top of it. So be lenient on that. Sometimes if you order the hand-tied jigs, those are made to order. There's no way I can keep up with every color combination that I tie in those. And those are made to order, and those are a different story. If I've got the supplies on hand to tie that jig, that color jig, you'll get them in that 4-day span. If not, it could take 7 days, 7 days to 10 days in some cases. Because some of the things that I have to order take a little while to get here. But anyway, I do appreciate your business. I appreciate your patience on waiting on us for stuff like that. This is our new 2-inch Slab-Tech swim bait. This is I forget what this is. Yellow Jacket right here. Good color. A lot of people around here are loving using that color on our lakes here in East Tennessee. Another color that Mike and Frankie Chesser got 3rd place in our Watts Bar tournament this weekend on the old Watermelon Red. It's a watermelon base with red glitter. That's another one that I chose to have made, using my creative control and having the colors chosen. But anyway, those are the baits, and as far as Slab Happy is concerned, that's one I want to share with you. Is we're fully stocked in those colors, and that another thing I wanted to announce to you, as far as Slab Happy goes, is our team members will be at the fishing show here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let me get those dates again. I had them the other day. I had them yesterday. You had a lot going on yesterday. We had church, and LaRue Isom and Jason Grimes is going to be over. I'm thinking at the White Pine Marine booth. They're going to be giving a crappie seminar twice this weekend. One time is at Friday at 11 a.m. and Saturday at 5 p.m. Make sure you take advantage of that. They're going to share some stuff with you that is crucial in your crappie fishing, whether you tournament fish or not. But anyway, in the next one, the next segment that I wanted to go over things with you, is the East Tennessee Crappie Tournament Trail that we've been on all year. I've fished every event. JD, I think he's missed one. I'm not sure. I think he's missed one. But we're heading into the last tournament of the tournament season, is Douglas, and that's our home lake. That's that's the one that I grew up fishing the most, over Cherokee. A lot of my childhood was spent down there on Douglas Lake, but that's a story for another time. Um, but anyway, we didn't do so good in the Watts Bar tournament. You know, um, we struggled. JD, bless his heart, my partner, was unable to put a uh, crappie in the boat, and for whatever reason, and he's usually good, and it's got nothing to do with him or how good of a fisherman he is, because he's a good fisherman now when it comes to catching crappie. So uh, the only difference that I saw throughout the day once the tournament was over was I was using braid with a 6-7 foot monofilament leader, 10 pound leader, and using 12-pound braid, the ACC braid, I might add. And um, and we were using the same bait. I was using a 1/4 ounce hand tied uh, jig, Renegade hair jig that we tie here at Slab Happy. Um, and he was using the same jig. There was two different patterns that I was using. I was using a blue and chartreuse with a blue head, 1/4 ounce. Now let me tell you, and we are also using uh, uh, at one time 2 split shots above that. So we're having to get it down there and keep it there in the current. You know, and the wind later on in the day, but in the current was a major thing for us because we're not used to that. We're getting out of our comfort zone now. It's time for us to grow. You know what I mean, and step out there and do this and learn to fish this way all the time. There's times that we need to go back to the docks. When it's hard to get a limit, and when we've got time. That's what we will have to do. But um, we're learning where to find those crappie at. We're learning how to fish, for them more efficiently. Learning how to keep them alive. Things like that. Those are variables. But you know, we uh, we uh, we caught our first fish. I'm thinking is a 169. I believe was our first fish that we had caught. That I had caught. Um, we found that the fish were in 43 feet of water. Some of them sitting a foot or two off the bottom. Some of them, which I didn't see many of them that reacted, that even act like they wanted to strike, were higher in the water column. I did catch one that way, that I mistakenly thought was a catfish, and it was actually the biggest fish we caught that day. I'll go over that in a minute if I remember. Um, but I caught a 169, caught I think a 114 uh, as our first fish that we caught, and I thought, man, we're doing good, we're doing great. Some of the biggest fish we've caught tournament wise, and outside of Douglas last year. Um, we continued to fish slow, methodical fishing, on every piece of structure that we found in that deep water, and um, that's what it takes to get the tournament fish that you need. You're going to have to uh, go to doing what the other guys are doing in order to do as good as the other guys are doing. Um, but came up on some 1 pound fish. I caught not really a 1 pound fish, but I caught, I think, an 82 and a 77 that went along with the fish that we weighed in. Could not upgrade from those 6 fish that we had from 1 o'clock to 3:30. Don't know what the difference was. Don't know. Don't know why it did not work out that way. And I took minnows. I tipped my hair jig with minnows sometimes, that just was not working. They just did not want that minnow on that bait from the fish that I caught earlier that day. They did not want a minnow on it, and um, a lot of people, fish every tournament, live and die with minnows, but just could not get them to hit that way. So, long story short, we struggled. We did catch our seventh fish about 2 o'clock. It was an 8-inch fish, and I never caught another fish. The rest of the tournament, we fished hard too, and before we knew it, time was up. It's time to go, and we just could not get that seventh fish, the legal seventh fish in the boat. But I'm not going to cry about it. We had a good time. We was out there enjoying God's creation with people that we love to fish with or fish against. All these guys are good, good people, good to fish with, especially like I said. But good people besides, but anyway, we wound up getting 16th place in that tournament, which was not good at all. We needed a top 10 finish. I'm not gonna lie to you, we sure did. Um, it is going to be very iffy now if we get into, if we happen to just step inside that sixth place mark in points. With these guys, it's going to be hard. No lies to tell you, but we've had a good season this season. We've had a good year fishing all the way from the summer, and we're going to end it in March here, in March, April. But we dropped back a place in points. We're now sitting in 8th. We were in 7th. Where we were just right outside, and like I say, we've got some work to do in the Douglas tournament. We feel good about it. We just, we've got no excuses. Another lake where we'll be doing what we hadn't usually done in the past, but we've gotten a lot better at open water fishing for these crappie in deep water. These suspended crappie, getting better at finding them, a little bit better at finding them. But like I said, Douglas is our home lake. I feel comfortable. The last 2 years have been good to us on Douglas. And I look forward to making up some ground there. Now, you got some things that have changed in the top 10. Let me go over those with you here. Of course, we dropped back a spot. Chris Sims moved up a spot. Buck Collins moved up a spot. We're at 8th. Chris Henson, Eric Lawson, they beat us in this tournament, which I said, we're back and forth in that one. LaRue Isom, he's sitting down there at 12. But, he is going to tear it up on Douglas, I know. And he'll move up. I don't know how many spots he'll move up, but, he will move up if he fishes Douglas. George Hamby and Tom Claxton are sitting at 4th place now. Ryan and Ty Cofield. Ryan and Ty Cofield. I'll get it out here in a minute. It's early. But anyway, they're sitting up there in 3rd, and they've been hammers all season long. Got the biggest fish of the tournament Saturday, and a nice fish. And 275. It's a good crappie. But anyway, I'll post where everyone's standing in the points right here. you know, when I get the video edited. Um, we don't feel bad sitting in 8th place out of 25 teams this year. Um, we feel good. We feel blessed that God has let us get that far again. Um, we've got a um, we've got a tournament with a 38 that we need to knock off there. Um, um, it's not a good score to have in any tournament, but it beats a 0. I'll tell you that. But you know, um, we have, if we could do good on Douglas, maybe get a point or two on Douglas, or and um, big fish on Douglas, which is going to be hard to do again. Um, big fish on Douglas and get that extra point for that. Um, we'll be sitting up there decent. You know, anything can happen again with these guys. Anybody in that uh, uh, top 12 right now um, can come up and knock us out of the spot. Um, it's all a matter of um, God's grace on us during the tournament, and how we fish it, how we put what God's given us to use, you know, and we just leave it in God's hands, you know, like every tournament, you know, uh, we don't uh, we don't discount God in anything we do, including our hobbies. You know, that's one thing God wants us to have what we want, you know, within His will. And He cares about what we care about. And He knows that, um, you know, you can make this thing your God if you want. This can get between you and God if you let it. And let me tell you, don't do that. As fun as this is, and as much as we love it, we can't do that. We can't put anything, I don't care what it is, between you and God. That's never a good outcome when you do that. And you know, temptation is there for that to happen. You can get sunk up and too invested in this. And I've done it before. I done it with deer hunting years ago. Um, again, I have made it my God before, and we can't do that. No, we'll try our best not to do that. But anyway, we get out there and we have fun, and we get to socialize with other, you know, believers in Christ, and talk with them. You know, not only about our experiences with crappie fishing, our experiences in life in general. Talk with Mr. Buck Collins. I really enjoy Buck Collins, you know. And Buck, even if you never watched another one of my videos, man, I enjoy talking with you. I enjoy sharing stuff with you, and hearing your, you know, what you've been through in your walk. That's what it takes, you know, for us to keep each other strong. All right. Enough about that. Again, I'll post, you know, the bracket, and I'll post the points right here, and let you guys see them here for a little bit. The next thing I want to go over is for you guys coming down to the East Tennessee Fishing Show. You know, come by the Bait Pop booth. You know, I've talked with Mr. Chuck Stokes there, and he's one of our sponsors, and I'm going to be there at their booth. I don't know what times and what days yet. I've got some work to do, but I'm going to be there if I can. Again, Knoxville is 45 minutes away from me, just to get into Knoxville there. But you know, I want to go. I want to do my part. You may even catch me over at the Angler booth, our magazine. Um, I say our magazine. It's actually a magazine that I put an article in, I put an ad in, and Mr. Joe Woody I met him a couple of years ago. I also deliver this magazine around the East Tennessee area and around Dandridge, and Morristown. Um, I will try to be, if he needs me, over there at the Angler. Um, Offers a lot of good opportunities. This magazine goes around a lot. It's not just here in the Great Smoky Mountains. I write for the Great Smoky Mountains portion of it, but it covers, a lot of the East Coast, the Deep South, the upstate around New York and stuff. It's not just here in the East Tennessee area. Um, a lot of good opportunities for you business owners, to take advantage and get your ads put in here. I don't know which month this was and what article I wrote for it, but I try to do an article in there every month. You'll find my ad in here, like I said, for Slab Happy Lures. But it's a great thing, and they're our sponsor as well. Have been for 3 or 4 years now, and I sure do appreciate each and every one of our sponsors. But Mr. Chuck Stokes, he said he would have a badge waiting for me there to come and share my experiences with bait pop. Caught my biggest fish. I'm going to brag about it again. My biggest fish on Douglas, a 256, and using bait pop. Very windy day. I'm telling you, when JD and I fished that tournament last year, they had a bass tournament at the same time, and between the wind and the boat wakes, at times, our trolling motor was coming out of the water, having it on spot lock there and trying to fish, but the Lord blessed us in that tournament as well. We didn't win, we didn't get up in the money outside of big fish. We did win big fish in that tournament, and I won it using bait pop. I use bait pop, quite a bit. I believe in it. It works. I've seen it work. If you're an older person like me with trouble with your eyes, you're having trouble picking up on your bait when you cast it. Remember, click that transducer up, to aim up just a little bit if you want to see where that thing hits the water. With that bait pop on there, man, it's almost an instant. I see it. It does what the name is, bait pop. It makes your bait pop, and it works really good. I tend to put, if I'm using straight braid, I'll wipe that bait pop up my line, so I can actually see my line. But you can see your line, decent with braided line on live scope. But it's that extra thing that we need, being older people with older eyes. Looking at that bait pop or looking at that live scope all day long, it helps. It's going to be somewhat of a long video, but I want you guys to know that I'll be down there and I'll be talking, and I'll give you my honest opinion of bait pop, and my honest testimonials, of my fishing experiences with bait pop, and if y'all haven't seen it, look at my other video where it shows the scent dispersal when that bait hits the water. It's amazing that that radiates the scent off of that bait, and some people don't believe that scent matters. I believe it does matter. I was actually, what really confirms it to me is watching Jimmy Houston talk about it. I don't know what the chemical is that our body releases. Now I can't remember what that chemical was. Maybe some of you guys do. But he's talking about, our body releasing a chemical that some have in their body more than others. And this is a factor that fish will turn away from that if they smell that chemical on a bait. And I tend to believe Jimmy Houston about it. You know what I mean? He's done it. He's been in this a lot longer than I have, fishing in the bass world. And a lot of times bass react off of instinct. They are aggressive, super aggressive fish. And sometimes they'll bite just off of You know, the reaction to seeing the lure, you know, boom, I'm going after it. They're opportunists, of course. But anyway, till next video, I'm Perry Hensley, and remember that, you know, down at the East Tennessee Fishing Expo, we'd love to see you down there. Remember to go by Sniper Marine. You know, they sponsored our tournament trail, you know, for a long time. Trey of Sniper, you know, he fishes in it. Great fisherman, good guy. Uh, Great guys to talk with. You know, humble guys. Go by Sniper Marine. Go by Crappie Magnet. You know, Scott Bunch, Neil Alvis, Luke Brierly. Those guys, go by there and talk with them. I'm sure they'll be hanging out sometime or another, and tell them I sent you over there to talk to them. I know you say, you know, a Crappie Magnet, ain't that a competitor? I don't consider it a competitor. We're just doing the same business, you know. I can nowhere near sell what Crappie Magnet sells, and I don't pretend to. I will say, I will not knock any other bait, but I will put our baits up against them. You know, our baits are proven also in tournament situations. Um, don't forget LaRue, Isom, and Jason Grimes over there. They're two of the Slab Happy team members. They'll be at the White Pine Marine. They'll be giving seminars over there, and and maybe even Scott Bunch and Neil Alvis will be doing their seminars there. I don't know. I haven't heard from them yet. Scott Bunch, if you don't know, he used to be a pro staff member for Slab Happy. Uh, uh, I won't go into why he's not now, but you know that doesn't matter. You know, we you know, stuff like that doesn't matter. I understand about the way things work out. I understand it. No grudges held at all. You know, for nobody. You know, love them to death. But anyway, go by and see those guys. Come by and see me at the Bait Pop tent, and come by and the Angler. You know, the Angler magazine. Pick you up a copy. I'm sure they'll have some there. If they don't, I intend on bringing some, you know, and just you know, maybe letting them get handed out there, you know, if that's all right with Chuck. If it's not, you know, I don't want to step on any toes with anything. I'll bring them over to the Angler booth, and if I'm working the Angler booth, you'll get one. But anyway, till next time, I'm Perry Hensley with Slab Happy Lures, and we hope you have a blessed day. We hope that you consider Christ today if you don't know Him, and let Him give you a more abundant life like He says He will. I'm living proof of that, you know, and I'm not afraid to share my testimony. If you want to hear that, you want to come by and you want to talk about God, you want to talk about the Bible, I'm all for that too, you know. And come on, you know, we'll talk about it, you know. But until next video, until next time I see you, you know, God bless you. We'll see you.